Welcome to City Insider. In today's video we'll start with City rival United in Jeremy Frimpong chase. According to a report from The Sun, Manchester City will compete with crosstown rivals Manchester United in the race to sign Jeremy Frimpong from Bundesliga tabletoppers Bayer Leverkusen. The Dutch fullback is valued at £35 million, and he should prove to be a quality acquisition for both Premier League clubs. He has been linked with Arsenal as well. Manchester City need to sign the quality right-back as the long-term replacement for Kyle Walker. Frimpong would be the ideal addition for them. He will help out at both ends of the pitch. The Dutch fullback is exceptional going forward, and he has 22 goal contributions this season. He is likely to improve with coaching and experience. Playing in an attacking system at Manchester City could get the best out of him, and Pep Guardiola could help him improve further. Meanwhile, Manchester United have been linked with the player as well, and it will be interesting to see if they can get a deal done. Manchester United need to sign a quality right-back this summer. Beating Manchester City to his signature could prove to be difficult. Manchester United are unlikely to secure UEFA Champions League qualification for the 2024-25 season, which could be a major problem. The Bundesliga defender will want to compete at the highest level, and he will want to join a club capable of winning major trophies. The 23-year-old might prefer to join the Premier League champions at the end of the season. The reported £35 million asking price seems reasonable for a player of his quality, and he will only get better with experience. He could easily justify the investment in the coming seasons. Carlo Ancelotti responds to Pep Guardiola's complaints. Carlo Ancelotti has played down Pep Guardiola's complaints regarding Manchester City's demanding schedule and says it will not decide their Champions League showdown. Real Madrid host the defending champions next week in the first leg of their quarter-final tie, though before that City face testing Premier League matches against Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. The trip to the Bernabeu will be City's fourth game in 10 days, whereas Real now have a free week following Sunday's La Liga win over Athletic and do not play again until the quarter-final. Guardiola is far from happy with the scheduling and feels the Premier League do not do enough to help their European representatives. Unlike leagues elsewhere on the continent, speaking prior to City's title tussle against Arsenal, Guardiola said, "Madrid have 9 days to prepare for our game. 9 days. They play this weekend and then not again until our game. While I am thinking, oh, just give me one more day." With one more day the difference is a lot, but there is no chance. That's why, when you ask me about changes to the calendar, I give my opinion, but forget about it. While Ancelotti has acknowledged that City's fixture list is rather taxing, he does not believe it will be a decisive factor. Asked about Guardiola's comments, he said, "I see the calendar well. Obviously, they have a more complicated schedule. We have a small advantage in this regard, but it will not determine the outcome of the match." Asked if such a long period without a game could actually be an issue for Real, Ancelotti continued, "No, I don't think so. It's good for us to have a week to prepare for the game. We will give rest to those who have been with their national teams, and it is just enough time to prepare for the game in the best way." Arsenal legend criticised Haaland. He needs the service. Paul Merson and Roy Keane have agreed that Erling Haaland has been overhyped since joining Manchester City, despite establishing himself as one of the greatest goal scorers in Europe. Last season, the 23-year-old striker found the net more, 36, than anybody else in a single Premier League season. The record, which was previously set by Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, was 34. Haaland also became the quickest player to reach a half-century of goals in the competition. All in all, the Norway international has scored 54 goals and provided 13 assists in just 59 games in the English top flight. Yet, after just one disappointing performance against Arsenal at the weekend, he was described as a League Two player by Keane. Speaking on Sky Sports, the former Manchester United midfielder insisted that Haaland must improve his general link-up play. "The levels of his general play are so poor," said Keane. "And not just today, but in general. In terms of front of goal, he's best in the world, but his general play is so poor, he's almost like a League Two player. That is the way I look at him. His general play has to improve. It will do, over the next few years. Being this brilliant striker is fantastic, but he has to improve his all-round game." Keane's comment certainly raised a few eyebrows, but he's not alone in his brutal assessment of Haaland. In October 2022, Merson also criticised the Manchester City striker and suggested that he's been overrated. They have won the Premier League 4 out of the last 5 seasons. With the World Cup making the season stopping and starting, Haaland will not be playing for 6 weeks. He needs the service. Everyone is going on about how great and super he is, and how the movement is great and how powerful he is. But if he's not getting the ball on a sixpence, it doesn't matter how good your movement is, he's not getting the ball. He would not score 60 goals in League 2, and I was a manager there with Walsall. Moyes says Phillips need help in middle finger fiasco. Calvin Phillips needs support instead of backlash from West Ham's fanbase following his middle finger outburst at Newcastle. That's according to manager David Moyes, who has called on the club's supporters to help the on-loan Manchester City man find form even after his explicit display. Phillips, 28, had yet another forgettable outing in claret and blue on Saturday when he came on with the Hammers leading 3-1 at St James Park, only for the East Londoners to lose 4-3. Calvin's a human being and what he needs is support and people to help him, which is what we'll do, Moyes told reporters after Saturday's drama. We need our fans to give all our players the support they require. Calvin's a really good player, and I do believe we can still make something out of the time we've got with him here. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support City Insider.